Smiley.
And I'm Carla.
And we're the Smiley Twins. And
this is another episode
of Not Just Lip Service. Yes, it's been a minute since we've gotten on here. We've had a busy summer. It's always busy. It's really just kind of hard for us to sit down and do it.
It is. I mean, summer, in some ways, it's like the slow months for the actual treatments in-house. But in other ways, you end up spending more time doing things that you want to do because it's slow.
Yeah,
kids and vacation.
Or I just think we're just bad at sitting down and actually doing it. Like, that's a fact.
No.
So, since it's been so long, we were going to use this episode to, and we did record several episodes. There's several episodes coming out that are pre-recorded. So, for the next, at least, little while, and hopefully beyond, we'll be more consistent with our every other week podcast coming out.
Yeah.
We're going to try. So, we were just going to just have an open conversation about what we've been doing and what Smiley's been doing, and then see where it kind of goes.
Yeah.
So,
great.
Which to say is we're sitting in a brand new space.
Yes.
That we combine the training center, the surgery center, and our Nashville West Med Spa into one big building.
And from a practicality standpoint, we put out several little episodes because a lot of people ask about when to combine, when to expand, to open another location, when do I get a new room, and so.
Oh yeah,
just the actual operational and practicality, educational part. Oh yeah, all of this is out there.
Yeah, just go back to earlier episodes.
It's on a podcast, I think, and then I have some on my Instagram. Some different. I did a little series.
Yeah, and then on Patreon we do a lot of business stuff.
Where can they find your Instagram? Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. But that and KPIs are the two things we get asked about right now. It just seems constant. I think it's because med spas are maturing, and so now they have been open for a year, 2, 3. They have data, and now they're like, okay, how do I make goals? Now that I'm not.
Yeah, now what do I do?
Anyway,
yeah.
We've been putting some stuff out there on that, which is good.
Yes. So, the reasoning for us doing this was the surgery med spa thing was always something that I've definitely had in my head and crossover, and makes a whole lot of sense. Obviously, many people do it. It joins my
having a fun space has kind of always been your.
Yeah, I love training, anesthesia, and then the med spa is just always kind of something that I had in my head. And then from a business standpoint, it just kind of made sense. And then from a practicality standpoint, life converged into 1 square mile. Wonderful.
Yes. Mary and I happen to live on my bike here most days.
I'm
getting made fun of. Getting a new tour all the time.
I am getting a new tube on my bike.
Did you go to 615? Right now in Charlotte.
Jonathan is putting a new tube on my bike.
Nice to have
a
handy husband.
So yeah, I'm like, but I'm gonna, while it's in the summer, try to ride for a little longer.
Yeah, well, the fall's even better because the more.
Well,
it's nice when it's not so.
Yeah, my time's coming to an end because I'll be having that knee surgery again probably the end of the month, I think.
Oh, good God. Okay. Anyways, okay, so we're in this new space. It's beautiful. Life's been happening, clearly. Variety of different things. Personally, I taught my kids to ride bikes. Yes, they're 9 and 7. Yes, that was a fail. Yes, every year the pediatrician asked, can they ride a bike? And I was like, no.
How is this a place? What score is this going toward?
Yeah.
It has prompted us with our 3 and 5-year-old to get the training wheels off.
The training wheel thing, so it's not a 9-year-old who's like, eh. The doctor asked him, and he was like, well.
No judgment on the parenting.
So at the most of our summer was taking up with moving into this new space, and then we opened Rome, which I think we talked about at some point, or at least talked about the prep of opening our location in Rome, Georgia.
Yeah, we officially did. They're doing awesome.
Yeah.
We did also bring on another part-time provider, kind of acquired her, brought her into Smiley with them at that location. So they have 3 providers there, which is one of our bigger locations, or just 3 injectors there, along with some other health and beauty services. And then this opened on August 1st, or we kind of had a grand opening, I should say, on August 1st,
which was our most successful event. So again, from a practicality standpoint, if you listen to this for practical tips, we have I think the med spa event guide is out there somewhere.
It might be on Patreon.
But man, it's a good one. And that's what we designed that literally off of how we've grown into these events.
Yeah, because and I think we said this before, we've had events that had not a single person.
Literally no one showed up.
And not that there was a ton of advertising or anything, but I mean,
Well, it rained,
social
other
media.
factors, but boy,
Yeah, but
brutal.
still. And then all the way to, we had probably about, I think 150 people signed in. So we probably had 200 people or so, 225 come through that night. And it was,
Rose grand opening was phenomenal.
well, we've had a few this summer for that matter. We had a porch party at Franklin, and our Knoxville location has a big event coming up, and really excited about it. I've gotten some DMs about, about that too. So yeah, the event thing, figuring that out really has, we've done much better with it, and the marketing team has and stuff. And then we wrote it down. Yeah, made an SOP for it, and then have, tweaked it a little bit. And I do think it's on Patreon. And if it's not, it will be soon. I'm almost positive it's out there.
If you want some,
Or just reach out. Yeah. But it's really helpful and practical, kind of no matter where you are. It definitely doesn't matter if you're in a tiny town. Doesn't matter if you're here in Nashville. Like, it kind of is all of the above. Hence the different locations that Smiley has, and they're successful at each location.
Yeah.
So yes, and then we're trying to just slow down.
Well, start of the year to grow. We said we're intentionally kind of growing, doing some things to grow.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
If I recall, maybe we were in the second quarter. If I recall, we were slowing down at the end of 2024 to be continued in 2025.
Yeah, but then there was a point with which we said we were at a summit, one of the quarterly, and we were like, okay, we're going into doing some growth things. We added on Nutrafol. We added on diets.
I think she drinks us.
It's possible. We launched our own skincare line.
Well, we're still doing, well, the skincare line, that's what I'm saying. We weren't really growing.
Idiot, as I say these things. Like, you think about all the things.
I know.
Since we last talked 6 days ago, here's the things we did.
We're not in growth mode or anything. But yeah, we did some things. I mean, adding on services, that is growth, but it's, you're trying to keep those even tight. And we've got an SOP for that now too. How to add on product or service. We're diving into retail. That's what we're doing, trying to do for the back half of the year is get some retail training. We're bringing on Allergan's practice partner, I think it's called,
practice
APC.
consultant.
Practice APC. And utilizing that business development that they have, because they have so many.
And guys, it's like 6 months for like $350.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a joke.
If you
genuinely ready for Mary, you laughed at me because
I knew
I was
knew
ready for it to be.
Anything they do like that is so inexpensive.
$350 for 6 months, and that includes like an in-person training on.
Oh, and then if you add on any other in-person trainings, $75.
I'm like, good Lord,
it's laughable.
$75 just to drive over here.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a
huge benefit.
Yeah, it's a great, it's a great program along with all their other programs. We use their digital consultant program.
Yeah,
we used their PR program for a while, and then we dropped that one, but it was still great. We used it till we felt like
their digital consultant program. Tiana, our marketing director, I mean, they are like she's in a pod.
Oh yeah, she meets with her like weekly. And,
and she tells her about everything, and she's just phenomenal.
Yes, we definitely utilized it to the fullest. So, plug for Allergan and the stuff that they do per usual.
Re-engaging with reps, like we used the reps a lot at first. 2 years ago, probably, like a lot.
Well, not really. Just our main ones here.
Yeah, and then we didn't fall off on it, but it was just kind of like
it was hard making all the connections and then explaining and stuff. So yeah,
she's redoing that and those trainings that she did for our internal staff and our just really leaning in some of their resources. It's really quite impressive.
Yeah, well, and just focusing internally, truly, and not growth on the outside. Like really, I really do pray to the dear Lord in heaven that we don't open another location through the end of this year. Which is crazy to say since September, but like that's kind of how it goes. So I really just don't want to do anything new for anything. So we really are trying to keep it tight, and we've even locked down on adding new services, even though that's a little bit easier. Even trying to just minimize changes for people inside. So
yeah, it was slow as it relates to clients, which I think is I feel like sometimes on social media you see people's practices and it's always the perfect funny stuff and it's haha. And the reality is like the summer was kind of hard.
Yeah, I think it was
about mid-June it slowed down, and boy, it did slow down for a while, about the second week of August.
Yeah, which is, something that can be expected if you're listening to this and this is your first year or you're just getting started and next summer will be your first year plan for that. Plan for that slowdown, like start in May, planning and, you know, adjusting or whatever so that when
What
it
does
hits,
planning mean though? Like
you tell me, Ms.
cash flow. That's what it means. Also, some stuff came out recently about that. Cash flow. You have to
Yeah.
prepare that the same bills that hit in the months you have the money coming
slowdown.
in.
Yeah, when you don't have money coming in.
Yeah.
So being mindful of,
February, March, April are
So how far out or should you cash flow?
February, 3 months from when you expect the quarter.
Go ahead and finish the question. Sorry. How far out should you have a projected or a cash flow? Should your
Ideally 3 months.
So yeah,
I know what you're gonna ask. Some practices, if you don't, you know, if that's a lot, then 8 weeks. You know, but at least more than 1 month because you need to be able to see things coming. And a lot of people are.
Yeah, I just don't see how 3 months is too long. Given at least some of the bills, you know.
It's just people. It's just a lot for people to start out with that. So if you can even get your next 4 weeks out, and obviously put down all your bills, what day they hit, it's by week. Again, I think
And be conservative, like not overly conservative.
well, where you're conservative with that is your the top of that. So what that looks like, the top has to be your projected sales for the week. So that's where you take your last 8 weeks. And again, be mindful. If you're doing this in April, was February, March my 2 biggest months of the year? Let's not take those. Let's take your lower months, January and December, and hold on to those until August, and then redo your projections. And then you can say, okay, I expect to bring in $5,000 a week. Okay, that's that, and then this is net. This is what is hitting the bank account. So then, what bills do I have? What are my expectations for COGS? Like, what am I spending on product? Where I find people get in trouble is these terms. I really just think that new practices and new nurses and stuff are not ready for terms. Terms are something you have to manage, and you got these 9
So and you're talking about terms like with Allergan and Galderma and some of these places you can buy product on 3-month terms
or 2 month or 1 month, whatever.
and then, you know, those start hitting obviously 3 months later. Seems like a fabulous idea initially because I'm going to buy this product. I'm going to snag that initial deal.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you start with whoever, Galderma, and they have an initial 6-month here. Well, I'm going to buy, get that low price, and I'm going to sell, and it's all going to be fine.
But the clients don't come.
And then you don't,
or you save the cash otherwise.
Yeah, or they might, but yeah.
You just kind of forget.
Don't do any, it's the overarching theme for the lasers and any product and inventory and all this stuff is like, do you have a client yet? And if it's not, well, this will bring in clients. It's not so much that the RF microneedling device is going to bring in clients. What's going to bring in clients is the other stuff, is the word of mouth and the social media. And do you have to offer something? Yes, but you can offering the, you know, I'm talking about how much inventory, right? You don't have 25 bottles of Botox initially if you don't have any clients and you're just starting out. So that stuff ships overnight. You know, all the stuff we've kind of always talked about. But having this RF microneedling is typically not what drives in new clients because a lot of people have it. It's much more about how you market your ads, your social media, your word of mouth, your getting yourself out there, community events, Chamber of Commerce, that stuff.
Yeah.
And then
don't forget things that, people forget about, oh yeah, you'll see it if you do a 3-month flow and keep it updated. Oh, my malpractice is going to hit. And that's, I'm an APRN, it's $2,000. I like to play yearly because it's 20%, whatever. Oh yeah, like things like that, they just pop up. Having those forecasts really are
well, and then one more thing on the client thing. Once you get some clients, then it's all about how well do you do full-fledged assessments and conversion from one to another. So then there's another step. Okay, now I have 100 clients, 100% ready to I've been doing Botox and fill up. I've got 100 clients on my books. They're coming back pretty often. That's decent clients.
the last thing I was gonna say is make sure just because you get them have a
client
where it's really good.
Yeah.
Are they coming back?
Let's just pretend your client retention. So there's another step. So now I got my client retention well.
Yeah.
Well, then it's like, if I bring in an RF microneedling device and never mention it to any of those 100 clients, rendered totally useless.
So I don't know if our KPI podcast is going to come out before this, 2 weeks before this, or 2 weeks after, but we really dive in on that to how to do rebooking, booking percentages and revenue goals and how that relates to everything you're saying. Because it's a really good deep dive on how to get into that and how to use those for your practice and how they all three tie together, like exactly what you're saying, but understanding what is the data behind them, is it clean, and how do you use those to know, is it the right time to, buy a machine?
Yeah.
And just because, we talk about that hockey stick, just because you have this initial bump or you have coming out of summer is a hockey stick. You have this initial bump of people coming back, and then you have to wait and see, because September for us is usually fairly flat, if not lower than August. You have all this rush of people, and then for the last 2 years, our September has been slightly lower, about on par, but slightly lower. And then you see the October, November. So it's just never making a snap decision unless you have 3 or 4 years of cyclical data. We're just now able to really count on, I'm confident of what's going to happen in September, October, November. Just now. Because after 3 years of it, because it's just difficult to know that. Is our unfortunate.
And it's even more difficult for us, just given the way that
the way that our fourth fall. I mean, it took all 4.
But that also goes to say that it's the same for it's the same for everyone. So given how complicated Smiley is, the same exact theories, the same exact ways to do it apply to us, just as they would a single med spa with a single provider who's been in business for 4 years. Whatever. So it doesn't matter. It's the principles that matter for that. And
absolutely.
So that podcast sounds invigorating.
I know they're heavy, that one, and then we did one on
I think it's very
compliance
no, I mean they're great. They're very practical, and so I'm just kidding, but
we did one on teaser on compliance. We used Tennessee and kind of like the top, I don't know, 10 things in compliance, like med spa registry and medical director and stuff like that. And honestly, we went pretty deep into, and I'm starting to put a lot of plugs about ChatGPT. And probably hear me start saying it all the time, because utilizing some of the resources as it anything, even your like cash flow, like tell it all your bills and be like, produce me a cash flow. And I think I average $5,000 a week in sales. Wham, bam, here's your downloadable Excel sheet. Congratulations. They're not pretty, like they're not aesthetically pretty when it produces it, but boy, they lay some stuff out there. So you can really financially, and the same goes for even compliance, like you can use ChatGPT to get a lot of information and really get you a picture of your business before you have to dive into other, like, I get asked all the time, like an accountant, I'm like, it's just calm down, just relax. You can do some things well ahead of time to learn some things with how good it's growing. Be careful, but Copilot, Gemini, I mean, Gemini is for production of stuff because it uses all the Google stuff, and even Copilot because it produces all the stuff. Oh boy, if you want to make an Excel sheet to do something, like it's
that's a good point on Copilot. Like that'd be seems like a better place to do that because it's Microsoft, and
if you use a Google Sheet now built right into it, and if you want to produce anything or have it, have you a task or anything, it just feeds right in. It's right in your Outlook email. And then ChatGPT is really good for research intelligence, the Pro, especially for $200 a month. That sounds like a lot to a lot of people, but imagine what you spend on an accountant or an attorney. I mean, you can really, the level of intelligence there, truly, it's not a popular, like, some of these industries, the research is now AI, which is kind of scary, and a little bit sad. Technology is advancing, and advance with it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I think people are aware of that are going to easily be outdone by AI.
I saw a question in an aesthetics chat that was like, is so basic in Georgia. Oh, in Georgia, can an RN do a facial? And I thought, man, you've never heard of chat, or you've heard of it, but you aren't using it at all. Because something so basic. I was like, man, that is something that.
Well, let's not get into building your own GPTs and feeding it information and stuff. And it's just you can download an encyclopedia off the internet and then upload it into the ChatGPT, even though that's not unnecessary. But to that point, anything
because it has the encyclopedia.
Yeah, but I mean, wellness,
financial statements. I mean, all kinds of things. I will say that it is still discoverable. That's been out there, but your ChatGPT is still a discoverable thing. So right now, it's not protected. Yeah, which makes makes sense. Like, what would protect it? Like, everything's discoverable other than a few relationships. So it is a discoverable thing, and I found that interesting. So that doesn't, I mean, unless you're doing wrong things, I guess it doesn't really matter.
Why are you looking into that?
Yeah, I mean, I just read it somewhere. Oh. Like I read that, but yeah, to your point on the GPTs, and if it's like, well, I don't even know how to get started. Well, ask ChatGPT. Ask it how to get started.
Oh, if there is a how do I question at this point that I get asked, I'm like, I want to send them that, like, do you know how to Google? But then let's take it one step further, and
it's crazy.
Open.
And then it's like, well, gosh, getting all that together, and I'm like, Ask ChatGPT to make you a 30-day plan.
Well, yeah, I will try. That's on my to-do list.
Man, I'm wearing it out. Like,
To ask you to
if I have a project and I want to get it done this month, which I have several, I'm like, break this down into 30-day tasks to make sure I get this done in a month. And I really only have an hour a day.
Mhm.
And and then every day it reminds me, did you do this?
Yeah.
Do I need to readjust your days? Do I need to add time across?
Yeah, I was gonna play around with that a little bit, but
Really been quite useful. So the point is lean into technology. You can really do yourself a lot of favors, especially starting out. And even as things get more complicated, I learn how to use Excel. That still sounds good, and I don't want to be one of those people, but it's like that is one of those things. It's like writing in cursive, or it's like, oh man, you just don't have to necessarily know how to write a formula.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, so leaning into stuff like that, that
I
really
can't remember how we got onto that, but yeah.
um
Which was the point of the podcast.
oh, KPIs. You were just talking about
Yeah.
client retention and making sure you have those things in place before you dive into too much. And
Yeah.
we have a couple heavy podcasts coming out that have a lot of I think good information about some deep stuff. So
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well,
what else? This
No.
fall we always go.
no, I said, we have it. We go to Aesthetic Management Partners AMPS Owner Summit, so we'll go to that next week. And then we did not do a conference this fall, which I'm so happy about because I didn't want to travel through pretty much the rest of the year outside the owner summit that we go to, and some AMI stuff. But so that's that. And then well, yeah, I've just been doing webinars and stuff for people that you can find
A
on
lot of content.
YouTube. Yeah, on YouTube and social media and stuff. So just different webinars that we've been on, and I'm just trying to rein it in, keep it reined in through the end of the year is like kind of my goal, and then try to slip away to Mexico for a week between now and the end of the year.
What's
Wait, where's somewhere they don't have Wi-Fi?
yeah. We're doing that enforced unplug. You could find that place.
I mean, I tried to take PTO, as you know, a few weeks ago. Did not go well.
Well, that's your problem.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Are there any trends in aesthetics that over through the summer that popped up? PDGF popped up.
Yeah, we added on PDGF. I don't know since we've done this last, but that's very easy service to add on. I'm super excited about
right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good clinical podcast that maybe Donna and I could sit down and talk about all of our what we've seen in nuances for it. But really excited about that. Love the company area since it's doing it. A lot of noise on social media about it. Most of it, more than like most trends, good because I think it's just great when you really read into it and dive into it.
Yeah.
Always people who are trying to push the pencil against it, and some loud people on social media for sure. But do your own research per anything. But definitely recommend looking into that and adding it on because it's an easy thing to add on that's very safe.
Yeah, it's been injected.
And it has
body for years and years and years.
Yeah, it's used in surgery and
180 other patents using the product in the body.
Dr. Lynch is a genius with
also
that.
doll.
Yeah, he's also a great human. The whole company's just awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of an injectable thing we added on, and then we hosted Julie over the summer. Julie Horn had some great trainings with that over the summer. The Julie Horn Academy will be coming back in January. Lisa, who was with us, who also came, who's a doll,
Yes.
who I've really gotten to know, and who is Julie Horn's one and only mentee, basically. She's been with her now for almost 2 years, and just doing her own training and stuff now. Obviously heavily in Julie's technique, but with Lisa's kind of spin on it, just like anyone, just like how I do Julie's technique. And so yeah, well, she will definitely be back in January. Jury's out. Julie will be here, but Julie Horn Academy includes Lisa now, so very excited to host her again.
Excited to see Julie Horn's just technique and practice grow to include someone else. It's really hard to do.
It's time. Yeah, well, and it's time, I think, for her sake, in general, and then just
when Lisa was here, it was like. And Julie is wonderful, but she was just awesome.
Yeah, Lisa.
She's infectious. She's
Lisa's way of doing it is different than Julie's, in a great way. So it's I had the pleasure of going to Norway and spending a lot of time with Lisa, and she's exceptional in her technique and just the way that she does it. So which makes perfect sense. She also does lasers and other stuff. So she's a very skilled aesthetic provider in general, and then obviously an amazing injector. Yeah. So excited to have her back.
in January.
And then, I feel like that's kind of, kind of what we did. And like I said, we're just trying to hone it in, put out some podcasts that are a little more practical, hopefully, and less updatey, or, just what we've been doing, although those end up being hopefully practical. And
I want to do a conference in 2027, 6.
so 7.
Yeah. Like maybe in the fall, because there's not conferences in the fall that we're really, super excited about. So it's tempting to just host our own. It's not tempting. We talked about it for a long time, about doing that. So it'd be a big undertaking, but it'd be kind of cool. And to, something that's on my mind to do.
Yeah.
Arrogantly, I just don't think it'd be that big of a deal to get set up. So,
I mean, well, given that we've set up some events and stuff at different places, we have some experience with it. But we can talk about that another time. But yeah, that's been something that I've, from the very beginning, I thought would be
basic boot camp stuff, and
yeah. We look into all that. So,
and again, everything, do it the way we want to do it with, and don't do all the things I can't stand at other conferences. Like, pay $1,000 to come here. Oh, but if you want to attend this training, it's another $1,000. If you want to attend this business class, it's another $250. I'm like, okay, this is like, it's nuts.
We want it to be just super practical, super
useful.
Less social. I mean, like, great for networking. 100%. Definitely have network.
Yeah.
But like, less about that and more. What I love is Legacy and Learners. It's a great conference that Titan puts on, and Mary Beth is just an exceptional human, and Kevin Harrington and some of those people. So if you have a chance to be a part of that, that's one that definitely recommend. And that's how I would see modeling something that we did. So, but anyways, all right, I think I'll wrap that up. We will, like I said, be a little more consistent, hopefully through the fall, putting these podcasts out. You guys submit some stuff for us to do, and we do a lot of stuff on Patreon that gets submitted through YouTube. YouTube and Patreon kind of end up being similar in terms of if something comes in for either, we'll try to put it out. So check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Smiley Aesthetics. And if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple, the video portion, which you can go see if you want, or you can just listen. It's just YouTube, and it's at Smiley Aesthetics at YouTube. So,
and I've said in the last couple, and I'll say it again, if you find anything valuable at all, please share.
A like and a comment. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just engagement, as we all know on social media, is important. And YouTube and Patreon, all those are social media. So
it's even less for me about engagement as it's about getting I just re-engage with educating people in the medical aesthetics world, particularly nurses, on different things. It just hits me in the face about once a week how little preparation you have for starting a business in medical aesthetics. And it's like, the more we can share and the more you know.
Yeah, and we're trying to put ebooks out there on Patreon and some for specific topics and stuff. We've put some out there, so we're really trying to just flood the market with the stuff that was never told to us, because it's a big gatekeeping community. So, okay. So please and
not sure where this is gonna fall on the line, but
and where the episodes that are coming out, we've recorded a few, which is really great. So just
every other Sunday.
Yeah, some good practical stuff coming out. So please watch.
Until next time.
Hey y'all, it's Mary. If you enjoyed that video, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then head over to Patreon at patreon.com/Smiley Aesthetics to see the full-length video. We also have loads of other content on medical aesthetics, from marketing to business to legal, how to build a website, and other full-length clinical videos to help you along in your medical aesthetics journey. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Smiley Aesthetics, and I am at Injector Smiley on Instagram as well.